Fire, Milton Township Fire. True Township is requesting auto aid of an engine and a tanker. Requesting an engine and a tanker for mutual aid at 23307 Stony Ridge Road. 23307 Stony Ridge Road. For a structure fire, vehicles with diesel fuel inside. Time now 1857.
Welcome to January's edition of Fire and Rescue Magazine. This month's article, titled The Volunteer Playbook, takes an in-depth look at your department's training regimen for volunteers, their skill sets, their knowledge, and building yourself a progressive program that truly works. Before we begin with this month's article, I'd like to give out a special shout out to author David Rhodes' last month's article entitled Getting Outside Your Comfort Zone. A tremendous article. I strongly urge many of you members out there to read that because it fits in directly with what we're going to talk about here today. One of the things we've noticed on the volunteer side here, we serve a community of about 5,000 people in northern Wood County, northwest Ohio. We sit between two very large suburban areas. We're about 30 minutes south of the Toledo area. Right now we are sandwiched between the city of Perrysburg to our north, about 30,000 residents, and about the same amount of people in the Bowling Green area. One of the things we found here recently is with our revolving volunteer members. How do we adequately assess their skills, their knowledge base, and also put together a program that retains that information, builds upon it, and also allows us to train with neighboring departments. Now, to build yourself that progressive training program, you're going to have to organize a night that many people on your volunteer department are going to be quite uneasy with, and it needs to be secretive. To get that baseline knowledge as to where your department members are at, everybody reverts back to that old junior high, those school days of pop quiz time. Well, you need to organize this event with senior members on the department, your training officer, and what you need to do is pick certain skills that you want your department members to know. Or, for instance, you're going to pick to target that month. Now, organize those events into a series of national registry skill type questions. You're going to have content elaborations, you're going to have passing marks, and you're going to have your critical fails. Can your department members meet the expectations that you are currently setting? You have to understand where they're at, where their knowledge is, and where you as a department want to go. So you've done your skill set. You've done your National Registry Pop Quiz Night, made everybody sweat a few bullets. What do you do now? Easy. You take that information, you compile that data. I know nobody likes to crunch numbers in the fire service, but you compile that data. Are you seeing any trends? Are members lacking in certain areas? You have to kind of establish that trend data before you start building these training programs. One of the other things that I'm going to highly recommend is once you do establish your training programs is to start small. We're notorious in the fire service for wanting to train on the latest and greatest things, especially on the volunteer side, but we tend to get away from our basic skill sets, things that make us successful. One of the things that has made a huge benefit and a huge value for us is we have several members who are very skilled, very talented in certain areas. The fire service has tremendous niches, and everybody seems to have one. You need to utilize those people who are great communicators, that are comfortable being around individuals, actually in the teaching atmosphere. Not everybody who has knowledge is a good communicator. And that's the tough challenge you face as a department, is getting those right individuals into those training nights. For instance, take a training, split it up into multiple components, pick 4 or 5 people that you trust, that are knowledgeable, and that are great communicators. Because ultimately the fire service is about passing that knowledge on and differentiating that instruction, getting multiple members up in front of a classroom setting, teaching certain skill sets is a way, one, to empower your members to show self-worth, but also for you as an officer, for you as a chief, for you as a training officer, and for yourself as a department member to learn valuable skill sets. Well, that's all for January's edition of Fire and Rescue Magazine, the Volunteer Playbook. I'm Matt Bekas. Thank you for stopping by. Please visit Fire and Rescue Magazine to learn more, give feedback. If you have any comments, questions, concerns about the Volunteer Playbook and ways to implement volunteer training programs at your department, please reach out to me. You can find my information located in this month's article. Stay safe.